Because it's already hard, right? Trying to do something for yourself, it is already very fearful.
Yeah.
Right. So having that opposition, which is always there, like it's amazing what you have to overcome.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So how did you overcome that? So Abhinav, when I think about how to start, the first thing that comes to my mind is how we had struggled to start.
Yeah.
Right? Because recently both of us have quit our jobs to start something of our own.
Yeah.
And I think you'll agree, like one of the biggest hurdles there was just trying to convince ourselves that we are on the right path.
Yes.
Right.
The biggest hurdle over there is like the inner hurdle. People think everything is dependent on the people around us or something like that.
Exactly.
But ultimately, when you are about to take a decision, the ironical thing is it is you fighting against yourself.
But it's crazy how much opposition you actually get when you're trying to do something, because it's already hard, right? Trying to do something for yourself, it is already very fearful.
Yeah.
Right. So having that opposition, which is always there, like it's amazing what you have to overcome.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So how did you overcome that?
It's kind of divided into phases, I suppose. Like initially you are very excited and motivated towards your plan, which you are starting off with. So you are having that kind of a thing, ki nahi, I'll do this, I'll do that. Nothing can stop me and stuff like that. But when you get into the real world and you think practically, then things seem to be tough.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not always according to the plan. It's not always according to the things which we think in our mind.
Right.
So after that, you certainly are demotivated towards your plans. So you say that, theek hai yaar, if everybody is doing this, I'll also do the same. If this is what is expected by the society.
You start to explain yourself out of the fact that you want to start something.
Exactly. Reverse psychology काम करने लगती है यहाँ पे. Like you cannot convince yourself to take the decision, so you convince yourself that why other people are taking that decision. Right.
Yeah.
So कहीं ना कहीं that is the biggest trap, biggest loop which everybody is stuck in. Whosoever is not able to start. Right. So that was a phase with me as well, with you as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then after 2-3 months, something just clicked, right? Like it was so miserable over there.
Exactly,
the life was not going as per as I imagined.
Yeah, there was like a threshold point that you reach, and after that you're just like, you know what, this is not something I can do now.
वो बोला जाता है ना कि यार अगर कोई भी चीज़ में पानी में अगर आप एक लिमिट तक नमक और शक्कर भर सकते हो, right?
Yeah.
So the salt and sugar can be up to a limit in water, right?
Yeah.
So that had happened, and ultimately things have to come out, right? So it came in a different way that yes, we have to quit. We both decided it. Ki nahi, we have to quit, and we did, and things changed after that, right? And the most beautiful feeling is that after you quit, after you start something else, because if you never quit, you cannot start something else. I feel.
Right.
I feel that, right? So if you don't get out of something else, you cannot start something new.
Yeah.
So when you do that, then everything changes and everything seems to be possible. Whatever the inner hurdle was, if you have overcome that once, then everything seems to be possible, right? So that was the biggest hurdle, I suppose.
Also, like ये सब चीज़ें ना, you cannot understand until you start really accepting the consequences as your own.
Oh yeah.
You know, one concept that I really want to touch upon right now is ownership.
Yeah, man.
Right, just to be able to say, you know, that anything that is present in my life is because of me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, what do you have to say about that?
100%. For the listeners or the viewers, whosoever are listening to this podcast, I would like to like simplify this term, ownership. Ownership means whatever you are doing in your life, it's all yours.
Yeah.
You are taking a decision. If it goes good, it's your. If you are taking a decision, it goes bad, it's your mistake. Take the responsibility.
Yeah, understanding what ownership means is one thing.
Yeah.
Actually taking ownership of your life. You know, that however my life turns out in the future, it is based on the decisions that I make now. Like knowing that kind of responsibility and its significance.
Yeah.
I think that is something that a lot of people still lack.
Definitely. Most of the people still lack because people are not aware of the consciousness of the decisions they have to make in their lives, right?
No doubt.
Everybody is going with the flow. Everybody is in their comfort zones, right? They are thinking कि नहीं life ऐसे ही चलनी है. This is what it is meant to be.
Yeah. No
right?
doubt.
They are not taking the ownership and doing whatever they feel good for them. That is taking ownership, taking some conscious decisions into their life and just going with it and executing it. Right? Making it happen. That's what we say.
Yeah. So when did this happen for you? Like, जैसे अगर मैं अपनी बात करूँ, then it happened somewhere when I really started struggling with this job. And it wasn't like the job or its conditions that were bad. It's just that, you know, every individual has a perfect fit.
Yeah.
And that job was just not a perfect fit for me, right?
Yeah.
And the more you start realizing it, the more you realize it was always on me. If I stay in this job, it is me who's going to get affected the most, right? So it is my decision at the end of the day, and I was not able to take it. That is where the concept of ownership came into the picture for me.
Yeah. So for me, it has been somewhat the same thing, because like मेरे को भी वो दिमाग में आया कि नहीं, now I have to leave the job, or I'm not finding things going good in the way. But to be honest, I never had plans to leave the job. I always had a thing कि नहीं, I'll work until this point, then I'll do this. Then definitely I had a plan for business, right?
Right.
I'll do a business or something like that. But I had those plans maybe when I will be 35, I'll do this, I'll do that, right? So everything kind of pre-poned for me, I'll say, because of the things I was going through, miserable life in my job and stuff like that. I was not that much happy. I'll not say the job was not good. Job was perfect. But after a point, you start feeling that this is not what I imagined or I deserve, right? I started thinking that if I'm thinking a life for me after 10 years, why not now? I can take the risk now. I cannot take the risk at that time, maybe.
That's true.
Maybe, right? So, though anybody can take risk at any time. But the thing is that it seems to be more easier to take risk as of now, being 23, 24, right? So things kind of pre-poned for me. So that has been the very case for me, nothing else. And then after that, it has been the pretty same story with you and me, right?
Yeah. That is really true.
Yeah.